Have you ever noticed your power going off for just a few seconds and then, like magic, it comes back on all by itself? Well, that's not magic at all. That's a device called an auto recloser working silently on the power lines outside. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this amazing piece of technology. We'll explain what an auto recloser is, why it's so important for our power grid, how it works step by step, its different types, and even look at some real-world examples. By the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of how our utility companies prevent long, frustrating power outages using these smart devices. So, let's start with the basics. What exactly is an auto recloser? In simple terms, it's an automatic, high-voltage electrical switch or a smart circuit breaker, specifically designed for medium-voltage overhead power lines. These are the lines you see running along streets and across the countryside, typically carrying 11, 0, 22,000, or even 33,000 volts. Its main job is to detect a fault on the power line, like a short circuit, and then instantly cut the power by tripping open. But here's the clever part. After a preset amount of time, it automatically tries to close the circuit again to restore power. If the fault was just temporary, the power comes back on, and you might barely notice it was gone. If the fault is permanent, the recloser will lock itself in the open position to prevent further damage and signal that a repair crew is needed. This brings us to the next big question. Why are these devices so essential? The answer lies in the nature of faults on overhead power lines. A huge majority of them, around 80 to 90%, are temporary. What does that mean? It could be a tree branch swaying in the wind and briefly touching a line, a bird or another animal making momentary contact, a lightning strike nearby causing a surge, or even strong winds causing the conductors to clash together. Without an auto recloser, every single one of these minor, temporary incidents would cause a prolonged power outage. The power would stay off until a utility crew could drive out, find the location of the fault, and manually close the circuit breaker. This could take hours. With an auto recloser, the entire process of detecting the fault, interrupting it, and restoring power happens automatically, often in just a few seconds. This dramatically improves the reliability of our power supply. So, where do we find these crucial devices? You'll see them installed all along overhead distribution feeders, especially in rural and suburban areas where lines are long and exposed to the elements. They're also vital for industrial connections that can't afford downtime, and they play a key role in integrating renewable energy sources like solar and wind farms into the grid. They are designed to work on medium voltage systems, typically ranging from 11 kilovolts up to about 38 kilovolts, depending on the specific model and manufacturer. To understand how it works, let's look at the main components that make up an auto recloser. First, you have the interrupting unit. This is the part that physically opens and closes the circuit. Most modern reclosers use a vacuum interrupter, which is highly reliable and requires very little maintenance. Older models might use SF6 gas. Then, you have the control unit, which is the brain of the system. This recloser controller is a sophisticated microprocessor that houses all the logic. It decides when to trip, how long to wait before reclosing, and how many times to try. Next are the current and voltage sensors. These are the eyes and ears of the recloser, constantly monitoring the flow of electricity to detect abnormal conditions like overcurrents, which indicate a fault. The operating mechanism is the muscle. It has a powerful spring or magnetic actuator that provides the force needed to open and close the main contacts inside the interrupting unit. Finally, many modern reclosers have a communication module, allowing them to connect to a central control system, like SCADA, via cellular or fiber optics. This allows utility operators to monitor the device and even control it remotely. Now, let's walk through a step-by-step example to see it all in action. Imagine a strong gust of wind blows a tree branch, causing it to touch an 11,000-volt power line. Instantly, there's a surge of current on the line of fault. The sensors in the nearest auto recloser immediately detect this overcurrent. The control unit processes this information and, in a fraction of a second, commands the operating mechanism to trip, opening the circuit and cutting off the power downstream. Your lights go out. Now, the recloser's timer starts. It's programmed to wait for a specific dead time, maybe just a few seconds. During this time, the electrical arc at the fault location extinguishes, and hopefully, the tree branch sways back or burns away from the line, clearing the fault. After the preset time is up, the recloser automatically attempts to close the circuit. If the branch is gone and the fault is cleared, the current flows normally, and your power is restored. You might just see a quick flicker. But what if the fault is still there? What if the branch is stuck on the line? In that case, when the recloser closes, it will immediately detect the overcurrent again and trip open a second time. This is where the reclosing sequence comes in. This is a pre-programmed set of instructions that tells the recloser how to behave. A typical sequence might involve 1 or 2 very fast reclose attempts, followed by 1 or 2 delayed reclose attempts. For example, the first trip might be followed by a reclose attempt in under a second. If that fails, the second trip might also be followed by another fast reclose. These fast operations are designed to clear very fleeting faults without causing much disruption. If the fault persists, the controller might then switch to a delayed reclose, waiting for 5, 10, or even 30 seconds before trying again. This longer delay gives more time for the fault to clear, and also helps protect equipment on the line, like transformers, from being repeatedly stressed by fault currents. If, after all of its programmed attempts, say, 3 or 4 tries, the fault is still present, the recloser will enter a lockout state. It trips one final time and stays open permanently, signaling to the utility that there is a serious, permanent fault on the line that requires a manual inspection and repair. This programmability leads us to the different types of auto reclosers. The most basic distinction is between single-phase and 3-phase reclosers. In rural areas with long power lines supplying scattered customers, single-phase reclosers are often used. If a fault occurs on only one of the 3 power lines, only that single phase will trip and reclose, leaving the other 2 phases energized. This is great because customers connected to the other 2 phases won't even notice an outage. 3-phase reclosers, on the other hand, trip all 3 phases together. These are used in more densely populated urban and industrial areas where most loads are 3-phase, and losing one phase would cause significant problems. We also have older hydraulic reclosers, which use mechanical timers and were less flexible, versus modern electronic or microprocessor-based reclosers, which are fully programmable, can communicate remotely, and are the standard today. It is also useful to quickly compare an auto recloser to a standard circuit breaker you define in a substation. The key difference is that an auto recloser has the built-in intelligence to automatically reclose, while a substation breaker typically does not. It's designed to trip and stay open until it's manually or remotely reset. Reclosers are designed to handle temporary faults out on the distribution lines, whereas substation breakers are usually the last line of defense for permanent faults. The effectiveness of a recloser depends entirely on its settings. Utility engineers have to carefully program several parameters. This includes the pickup current, which is the level of current that signals a fault. They also select time current characteristic curves, which determine how quickly the recloser trips based on how high the fault current is. And of course, they program the reclosing sequence, the number of attempts, and the time delays for each. Incorrect settings are a big problem. If they're too sensitive, the recloser might trip unnecessarily, causing nuisance outages. If they're not sensitive enough, it could fail to operate, leading to equipment damage or safety hazards. So, the advantages are clear. Auto reclosers significantly reduce the duration and frequency of power outages. This improves the overall reliability of the power system, which leads to higher customer satisfaction. They also reduce operational costs for utilities by saving them from sending crews out for every minor, temporary fault. For all these reasons, they are an absolutely essential component of modern, smart power grids. Let's put it all together with one final, real-world example. Imagine a 33,000-volt rural feeder that stretches for miles, supplying power to small villages, farms, and maybe a few solar power installations. Without a recloser, a single lightning strike miles away could knock out power to everyone on that line for hours. A lineman would have to drive the entire length of the line to find and fix the issue. But with auto reclosers installed every 10 to 20 kilometers along that feeder, the story is completely different. When the lightning strike causes a temporary fault, the nearest recloser trips, waits a few seconds for the disturbance to pass, and then recloses, restoring power instantly. No operator intervention is needed, and most customers are completely unaware that a potential long-term outage was just avoided. To summarize, an auto recloser is a critical protection device for overhead distribution systems. Its sole purpose is to automatically restore power after the temporary faults that cause the vast majority of our power flickers. It's a smart, reliable, and indispensable workhorse that forms the backbone of the modern power grid we all depend on. Thank you so much for watching. We hope this detailed explanation helped you understand how this incredible stuff works. If you found this video interesting, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel, How to Do It, at HowToAuto52 for more deep dives into fascinating concepts.